How's it going, everybody? I'm back in Fallout 4 again at Starlight Drive In. This time I'm going to be building the second floor of the build that I'm actually redoing right now. A couple days ago, I uploaded a tour of a settlement that I had done a long time ago, and I had changed it over time and added stuff as DLCs came in, but this main structure that I'm rebuilding is the one that stayed the same no matter what. Like, it stayed through all the DLCs, everything like that. I didn't really ever change it at all. And so all I'm doing is I am going through and I'm rebuilding each of the floors of that build because it's a rather large build. And it's an interesting structure, I thought. That's why I decided to redo it. And it's just kind of tricky because, like, I have issues like this a lot where uh, it won't clip unless I move an object, move a specific piece that I'm trying to build. So, like, uh, this is just, it really matters the build order for a lot of the things that I'm doing, and it's just interesting, I thought, to see how I deal with these things, and I thought it'd be interesting to show you guys how I deal with these. And so the first thing that I did was the bottom story, and you can watch that video, it's already up, but I'm just doing the second floor today. And so the bottom story was supposed to be shops and other things like that, but this floor is actually just supposed to be uh, like rooms that people like live in. And also I think I'm gonna do a clinic up here. uh, I was gonna have a lot of my shops on the bottom floor, but I actually decided I think I'm gonna do one of my I think I'm gonna do my clinic on this floor because there are rooms that are bigger than others, and I think that it would fit in. So right now I'm just trying to figure out which rooms I want sectioned off, where I want it sectioned off, stuff like that. And really, the floors, I just tried to mix up the textures again, just like the downstairs. And then I placed the walls, but I guess that kind of proved to be an issue. So that's why I have to keep going back and redoing a lot of things. And then now I'm just placing roofs on all of these rooms. And honestly, I probably shouldn't have done that yet because roofs will cause just as many issues as the floors. And yeah, now I'm going ahead and doing just fine details, around the build. And eventually, I will actually go ahead, yeah, right here. I'm actually going to start making them look a little bit more like door frames for the rooms rather than them being so open like huge giant rooms. I actually try to make them a little bit smaller compact rooms. If you looked in my old build, I'm probably going to do rooms similar to the small shacks that were kind of scattered around my settlement. But I'm not entirely sure yet. I'm not going to do the decorations because the decorations, like I said in the last video when I was building the first floor, they could honestly be a video on their own, just how much it actually takes to decorate these. And it's just, I think it's going to be a good build overall. I've yet to think the structure actually looks that blocky or anything like that. Like, the bottom story looked kind of blocky, but I thought it still looked really good for as big and square as it is. I thought it still looked pretty good. So, what I'm mainly doing in here is just uh, trying to make the rooms a little bit smaller, like I said, and then I try to make them look a little bit more like door frames. And just the build order is really important. You have to pay attention to that. So this back room right there that I just built the door frame for, that one on the left, that's kind of, I think, the one that I'm going to have as the clinic because it's very big. And I'll be able to put signs on the front of it and stuff so that people know where the clinic is, since it'll be facing kind of the front entrance. And I had the idea of glitching these in to, these are from CVA. So if you go out of USO and you go all the way to the structures tab, the regular structures tab, if you have CVA on, you can actually get these little wooden planks, and they actually clip like right on top of these most of the time. So these are really fidgety, and I decide that I'm going to put these on all the tops of the doors because I think it makes it look a little bit better, and it makes it look a little bit more connected and put together. But not all of the boards actually work, so I go through and I find which ones do. I found that plank one and another one work. We'll see in a minute because I actually start putting it because I figure this is all the same texture over and over and over, so I should probably find something else to do. And it's mainly because I thought, oh, I'll fill this like huge gap right here, and it wasn't working. So I go and I try on these, and I saw something flash, and it's that piece, but it's flat. And then I go to another one, and it's plank 5. 90 degrees works, and you can see that it looks really good. And then I decided to kind of replace a few of them to kind of change the texture a little bit at least, so that it doesn't look as repeated throughout it and that it looks a little bit different. And so the next thing that I did was I actually was just trying to figure out things to kind of make the structure look a little bit better. I tried to do another little door frame thing over here, and it takes a minute, but I actually do get it, and I think that that looks a lot better. I think that that is actually a really good way to make a door frame if you don't have one available. If you can't really put one in, I think that that actually works really well as a door frame. If you can kind of close it a little bit more, it'll actually work as a door frame. I think that it'll actually fit a little bit better. And then right here, all I'm doing is just putting a staircase, seeing if it clips through, and then smooth all the way up to the top. And then I put in some floors to kind of cover up that left side so it's not quite so open. And now it's just some finishing details. I was looking around before. That's kind of why there was a gap before I put those stairs in. I was kind of looking around trying to figure out some things that I needed to do. And I decided that I was going to close these off, not have them the way that they were. And the reason I decided to do that was because you actually can't really, I mean, you can, but it doesn't look as good when you place things on those walls. Like if you were to put a flag or something like that, it doesn't clip as well, and it doesn't please me, and it doesn't please my eyes too much whenever it's kind of clipping through a lot of stuff. So I went ahead and closed off these interiors to make the inside walls look a little bit better. And I left a few open, so I don't know why I didn't just do a room at a time instead of running around doing random spots, because there's still this one, and that's the same texture twice, so I have to go ahead and try to get a different one. And I opt to use this because I didn't think it was in that room. And then on this wall, I used this one. And the cool thing about these is that you can't see them from the outside really, but then like in certain pieces, the ones that are kind of really open, you can see the textures behind them, and I think that they look really good. And it really makes me happy how they look on the inside too, just because it looks a little bit better. At least in my opinion, it does. So here in a moment, we'll have the final tour of the upstairs. I'll just take a look around real quick, and oh yeah, I also decided to close up this like huge gap in the wall with a half shack wall. I'll probably do some more fixes like that around, but yeah, I picked that spot. So here's the full tour. And as you can see, it's a little less boxy, especially since it's got all those angles on top of the roof with the like cutouts. And you'll notice a couple details that I didn't show in the first video on the downstairs, just like that pole right there. I decided to use that just because those wall cutouts that were kind of hanging off the side on this side. And then on this side you can see it too, since there's those end caps, or not end caps, those are the cutouts. It looks a little different. But right there you could see the ball support tracks, or track supports. Those make it look a little bit more interesting downstairs. But right here, you'll notice that it's a lot of just sectioned off rooms with the little beams across the top to make it look a little bit more like a doorway. The decorations of these, like I said previously, I'm going to be doing individual floors, and I'm going to be showing me decorating each room in their own video, just to show kind of what I would do to decorate and make it a little bit more interesting. I'm probably going to be using a lot of Aslam's Workshop decoration pack, and yeah, I'm pretty excited about this build. I hope you guys are too. Let me know what you guys think, and check out some other videos, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Have a good one.